Alrighty, guys, welcome again. I'm Jane. This is Wise Senior Virtual Connect, and I'm excited today because we're doing something that I think is real relevant for the holiday coming up and gives you an opportunity to investigate your family. We have Stephanie Lucas here with us from the Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. She's been with us before. We have lots of programming there as pre-COVID times, so I'm so grateful that now she's able to bring some of her programming to us during this time with our group. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the library edition for Ancestry.com. Thanks, Stephanie. Go ahead and share with us.
Thanks, Jane. It's good to see you all. I'm glad you could join us. I'm going to talk today, and I'm going to pull up some slides about the library edition of Ancestry.com. And has anybody here ever worked in Ancestry.com, had a private, maybe a private membership to Ancestry, or just done any genealogy at all?
My daughter has and sent us a notebook about it.
Oh, great. Okay. And do you know if she worked in Ancestry.com to put it together? Okay, great. Anybody else?
Stephanie, my wife is getting a subscription to Amazon.com for a Christmas present.
Oh, okay. Okay, great.
She is in the DAR, and she has one relative that she's already tracked, and she's tracking another one right now. So
okay.
It's very appropriate that you're talking to us now.
Yeah, no, what I'm going to talk about is the library edition, which is going to be a little bit more limited than what you will have with your membership. But there are still millions of records that you can go through on this website. So let me take you to my slides first, and then we're going to go into Ancestry.com and we'll just play around.
Hey, Stephanie, I'm Gwen.
Hi. Oh, hi, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good, okay. Can you all see my slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we are going to talk about the basics of how to get started with the library edition of Ancestry, okay? So the Carolina Room, which is our sort of, in our main library in Uptown, they're kind of our genealogical experts. They've put this information together to help you with getting started. And what they recommend is that you start by kind of just take a piece of paper and just start writing down what you actually know about your family. You know, your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, as far back as you can remember. And that's something you can just do on pen and paper before you even go into the website. Okay, and I am going to show you how you get into the library edition from our website. So we'll get into that too. Okay, so it's very easy to search in the library edition. And when you are at the home page, there's a big box that just says begin searching. And what it pulls up is what you see here. You can just start with the name of a family member, okay? And you can even choose the exactness of your search. So if there's a middle name that you're not quite sure what the spelling was or something like that, there are ways to adapt your search to accommodate your uncertainties. And the Carolina Room does recommend that you start with grandparents. They're a good place to start because generally you can at least find census records with grandparents on them. Okay. There's also a tab, and we're going to go into that too in just a couple of minutes, show more options. And this field is going to allow you to narrow your searching. A lot of times if you're looking specifically for military records, marriage certificates, something like that, you're going to use that show more options tab to narrow your search. Okay. Now, when you get search results, a lot of times you get too many. And so there are ways to kind of adapt, like I was saying, adapt your search to exactness. And it's easier to show you than to kind of try to talk it through on this slide. But basically, you don't need to know exact dates for, like when I'll show you, I'll search for my grandfather, and I'm not quite sure the year he was born, but there are ways to adapt your search to that too. Okay. And you'll also see once we get into start searching, to the left, there's going to be a list of categories. And that's another way that we can break down our results by either immigration records, military records, census records, things like that. Okay, so these are just some basic genealogy searching tips. Okay, so number one, if you have too many hits, you need to narrow your search. Number two, sometimes you have too few hits, and so you need to broaden your search. And I'll show you ways to do that. A lot of it has to do with just adapting your search to accommodate maybe misspellings of either names or cities, things like that. And I've noticed even when I've played around with this with my own family, that there are misspellings that you'll see just because someone maybe filled out their military ID card kind of scribbled, and so maybe the name of the city doesn't come out correctly on the search result. So there are ways to kind of fix that in your search so that you get a good number of hits. All right, and then sometimes you're going to do both when you search. And so that's kind of the fun thing with this library edition, is that you can sit and play around with it and find really interesting results, things that you never really thought you would even be able to see. Like I found I found a record of 1945, my grandfather being admitted to the military hospital for diarrhea. Like who would have ever thought that, you can find this kind of stuff, but it's all there in Ancestry, the library edition. It's crazy. And it's just kind of funny to see. Okay, so this is just an image of a census record, and I will show you when we go into Ancestry how you click through to actually see the scanned digitized document. So it's really fun to look at these, like census records and marriage certificates, all kinds of things. And so you will be able to open up these documents, and you can also save them to your computer. So that's a nice feature too. Okay, so again, we are working here in the library edition of Ancestry.com. So you cannot access any private account that you've ever set up in Ancestry. You won't be able to access it through this. You won't be able to see any family trees you've ever created, or if you have done the Ancestry DNA testing, you would not be able to access that through this. This is sort of a public forum for Ancestry material. This is a list of record collections that you cannot access with the library edition that you will see if you have a private account. So a lot of historical newspaper collection, etc. But with that said, though, when I go in and show you, you will see that there is still a lot of information that you have access to. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, let's see. Okay. All right, so everybody see my homepage here? Okay, so we start at the library website, okay? We have to start at the library website in order to get the free access. If you try to go straight to Ancestry.com, it's going to expect you to have a paid membership. So start at cmlibrary.org, our website, okay? I'm gonna scroll down, and there's a pink box you see called Resources. And and we're going to choose that box. Okay.
And let me
Now-
stop here and say, you feel free to take notes, but this, you can access this presentation on our YouTube site, which I have listed that link, and it'll be up in a day or so as soon as I get it posted. So in case you just don't want to take copious notes and you just want to try and focus, you can go back and watch this at your leisure. Okay.
Great, thanks. Okay, so I've hit our resources link. I'll then see there's a link to the A to Z list of resources, okay? Or you could search Ancestry, but I'm just gonna click here on our list, okay? So here's my alphabetical list of all the digital resources that the library has, okay? And I see Ancestry Library Edition, and I just click Access Now. Okay, now because I was logged in earlier today, it took me directly to the Library Edition. If I were logging in for the first time, it would ask me to type in my library card number. Okay, so I would type in my library card number, then I would get to this screen here. Okay, so this is our home page for, and you'll notice in the top left corner, it's Ancestry Library. Okay, so our library edition. This is our home page. Where we're gonna start today is that green box that says begin searching. Okay, but you'll notice down here, you can scroll down, you can go straight to immigration records, straight to military records, census records. And down here you have quick links, public member trees. So I mentioned that if you have created a family tree, you can't access it through the library edition. However, there are a lot of members who have made their trees, their family trees public. So you can search those, okay? And we'll go into that a little bit too. So there are quick links to census records and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so when I click begin searching, okay, this takes me to that search box that we saw in this slide that I showed you, okay? Simple search, you have a name, okay, maybe you have a birth year. I'm gonna just type in, I'm gonna search my grandfather, so Richard Allen Macy, birth year, I don't, okay, so let's say I don't really remember the year. I can click here and I can say, okay, he was, I think, about 95 years old this year. He passed away this year. So I'm going to see what happens when I search this, okay? All right. And shout out if you have a question, because the way my desktop is set up, I can't see you all real well, so just shout out. But what I come up with, you'll see there are 194,000 results, okay? And it's going to, at the top, put the ones that best match what I put in my search box. And I can actually tell by the first result that that is, in fact, my grandfather. But if I wanted to narrow those search results, I can use these search filters that you see off to the left here. Okay, so notice it's small script, but it says broad to exact. Okay, so if I'm not sure exactly how he spelled his name, maybe if Allen was A-L-A-N or A-L-L-E-N, something like that, I could keep my search at broad. But I'm positive that this is how he spelled his name. So I'm going to move these over to exact. Okay, born 1925. Let's see. We'll keep that broad because I don't know exactly if that's for certain, and we'll update. Okay, so that took our results all the way down to 48 records. Okay, so, and sometimes you might find that, okay, I narrowed it down too much. And you could go back and change some of these. I could say exact and similar. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Okay, and that already took me to 1,300 results. Okay, so that's one way to search. Now I can then, and I can tell by the result at the top that, yeah, that's because that's my grandmother. So I know that I'm in the right person. So you'll notice here I can filter out to the left. I can search military records, birth, marriage, death records. So we can just click on military. Okay, so here we see there's a draft card for Richard Allen Macy, and born Scott City, Kansas. And I do know that my grandfather was born in Scott City, Kansas. So and it says, okay, 1924. I thought maybe he was born 1925, but 1924 sounds right. And his birthday was July 15. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at this draft card. Okay. So here is, and this is what I think is really fun because I'm not even an amateur genealogist, so I haven't started any kind of family tree, although several of my relatives have, and it's great to have those records. But I just find it fun to look at all of these images. So I can look at this and see that here is World War II draft card. So it's just kind of cool to see stuff like this. And then if I want to, do you see this, the green save button I have here in the top right? If I click there, I can click save to this computer. It downloads the image, and then I can start a file of things that I found in the library edition. So does anybody have any questions about what I've done so far?
No.
Okay. Okay, so go back out. Let's start a new search. I do want to, oh, show more options. So I think this initial search is pretty basic. I like using the show more options tab. And then it just gives you the ability to kind of narrow your search by what it is that you're interested in, if it's the marriage record or something like that. I also want to show you some tips when you're searching. There are a couple of things that you can do. Like I was said, my grandfather's middle name was Allen, but if I didn't remember how he spelled Allen, if it was A-L-L-A-N or A-L-L-E-N, what I can do is use a question mark in my search, okay? So if I say A-L-L question mark N, then my results are gonna show any Richard A-L-L-O-N-I-N-E-N, and that way I'm not gonna miss any of the results that I'm looking for, okay? I'm gonna say Macy, and I'm gonna say that that is exactly how it was spelled. Okay, so you have that option to choose exact birth year. Okay, so if I say, I'm gonna go with my original idea of 1925, even though we've learned that it was 1924. But what I can do here is click this little option, the little exact plus or minus. Okay, and I'm gonna say plus or minus 2 years. Okay, and you can go up to 10 years plus or minus. So that's really helpful when you're searching too, when you're getting into those older relatives that you just can't be certain about their birth years. Okay, birth year 1925, and I know that he was born in Kansas. Okay, so I'm just gonna search. Okay. So we have Richard Allen Macy. gonna see if we came up with any other Richard Allen's. No, okay. So we still just got all the ALLENs, but you see how you can use those kind of tools with your searches. I also, another thing that we could do, if I'm not even sure if it's ALAN or ALLEN, is you can use the asterisk tool, okay? The asterisk you can put at the end of a sequence of letters. So I'm trying to think of a good example. If you had a last name like maybe back in your family, there was a Kingsbury, but you can't remember if there was an S in Kingsbury or if there wasn't, you could do a search like KING and then asterisk. Okay, and that's going to come up with everything King, Kingsbury, Kingsfield, Kings, whatever it might be. But that's a way to broaden your search when you find that you're not getting the right results. It could be just a matter of you just don't have the spelling correctly. So there are ways to narrow your search and ways to broaden your search. Okay. Any questions about that?
So once you have him, can you find out who his parents were if you don't even know their names?
Yeah, so what you can do, let's go back to categories. So I can see here from this record that his spouse was Ruth Marie Hegstead and his father was Owen Bevan Macy, okay? Mother Sarah Van Antwerp. So then I could go back and start searching by those names. Oh, and I will, you can see actually right here, you'll notice it says that in 1930, he lived in Ponca City, Oklahoma. Okay, well, if you look at the record below, it shows from his draft card that he lived in Ponce City, Ponce City, Oklahoma. So let me show you this. Okay, so do you see this handwritten where it says Ponca City on this draft card? Well, the way that the A was written, it looks very much like an E. So when this got digitized and that information got saved to this record, it came out as Ponce City, Oklahoma. So just a good example of why sometimes you have to broaden your search. Even if you think that you're pretty certain about the spelling of something, sometimes just the way these handwritten records get digitized, you're gonna see these kind of misspellings. So just something to keep in mind when if you're not finding the information you're looking for. Okay, so I can see his father, his mother, his spouse, but I can also see here, if you'll notice under his name, there's a family tree that has been posted to the public trees on Ancestry that includes him. So I can click there. Okay, and then let's see. Here he is in this Mormon family tree. Okay, and I do know I have Mormons in my family, so I know that this is related to him. One thing that they recommend when you start looking around at family trees that are posted on Ancestry is that you make sure that there are the sources for all the information that's listed is provided. And you can see here, there's a list of the sources for the information that includes Richard Macy on here. So you see that he's in Census Records. That's where they pulled some of this information. His World War II enlistment records, draft card, city directories, things like that, that provided the information that they have for him. So that, and it is recommended that you make sure that there are cited sources for the information that you pull from family trees on Ancestry.
Stephanie?
Uh-huh.
Stephanie,
Yes.
if you want to go farther back,
Mhm.
I heard that with the census that we took way back when, that there was one part of the census, like the 1890s or sometime, that the records were burned. Part of the records were burned in the census. Do you know anything about that? It does not show that.
I don't, but we can pull up, I can click on this link. On the homepage, there's a link directly to the census records. We
Yes.
can choose 1890 and see what it says. Do you have a name that you want to try to search?
We can search.
Well, yeah, see, it
Robert.
says, oh, sorry, I was just going to mention, it does say here 1890 US federal census fragment. So
Yeah,
that must be why, because yeah, there's not complete records. And then it
yes.
says, yeah.
And North Carolina's part of that. So people need to be aware that there weren't that many records that survived that, which is a big chunk when you think of it,
Yeah,
10
it
years.
says here, yeah, Alabama, DC, Georgia, Illinois, Minnesota, New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, South Dakota, Texas. Yeah. So only 6,000 records remain from 62 million.
Mhm.
So yeah. So I guess there's a little bit from Gaston County.
Yes. That wouldn't help me.
No. Okay. So
Thank you.
are you able to go back to the 1880 or is it?
I'm sure I could. I'm in the DAR, and there have been a lot of nice ladies that have helped me with ancestors going way, way back. But I would like to tinkle with the 1880s and 1890s.
Tinker.
Yeah, I think I should put you in touch with the North Carolina room. I think for suggestions of how to try to work around those missing records. And I don't know if it's a matter of going to, is it births you're trying to you're wanting to verify, or
Our age, birth, yeah.
because maybe they could take you through like the I don't know, the historic newspaper index or something. I don't know. They would have much better advice for you than I can give. But yeah,
Well, thank you.
I mean, I think I do remember vaguely learning about that fire, but I mean, I guess it's helpful that they have that information here for people about it.
Helpful, but disappointing.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't know a workaround for that. But does anyone have a name or something that they'd like to just try a search with?
I've never tried, I can try my grandfather's name, Max Hagler.
Okay. Is it just HAG?
Haglerh.
Okay. And do you have an idea about age?
No, gosh. No, he died before I was born, so I don't know. He's from New York.
Okay. Let's just see what comes up.
Yeah, so that was him. He was married to Yetta. That's my
Is that him?
grandmother. That's the second one. The second
Okay.
one.
Oh, the second one. This one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So born 1899 in Austria.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah.
Where is that place in Austria? Okay. So, never heard of it.
Never heard of it. I don't even know how to say that.
I'm not even sure it exists anymore, does it?
I honestly have no idea.
Interesting.
So he was 5'4", 135 pounds.
He was 5'4"? Wow.
It says, yeah.
Little guy.
Well, that explains some things.
So yeah, we can look at. So, I'm gonna close out of this. Oh. So yep. Somebody has very neat handwriting here. Yeah. And
Oh.
then, yeah, that's pretty cool. Being slow, sorry. Okay. So, well, that's great with that much like that little information. You were able to recognize him in the, yeah.
Yeah, I found him
Second,
immediately. That's neat. So then I
So
can
that's pretty
dig,
good.
I can dig back. I guess did that say his parents' name, so I can go back further than that.
Yeah, so, well, it says,
Well, he was born in Austria, so that would be as far as, I guess that's as far as I
yeah,
could go.
that's,
So this all pretty much ends once they come, I mean, this starts where they come to this country, right? So,
yeah, so you can find, like, I did find at one point, if I go to immigration, like I was able to find like the, what do you call it when someone's registered on a ship? Like is it manifest? I don't know.
manifest, maybe, I don't know.
Manifest.
But,
Manifest.
is it manifest? Okay.
Yes.
I was able to find it for my great grandfather. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but I'll try.
So when
Would
they
he
came to
have-
this country,
Would he have any military history?
For my great grandfather.
Or for
Or-
her great grandfather?
Yeah, well, we had his, we found his draft card or his,
Uh-huh.
we can go back to that. Okay, let me just see if I can find. So you'll see like, yeah, see, I don't. He would have, yeah, see, my great grandfather would have arrived before 1924. So I feel like I need more passenger lists. That's why I'm like, yeah, it's just easy to get lost in all of this, and you just can spend a lot of time.
oh yeah, Ellis Island, I guess mine might have come up, when they came into Ellis Island, would they be listed when they came to Ellis Island? If they came, I assume that's where they came in, right?
Yeah, let's see. See, I know they have this passenger list for the ships. Let's see what I can find. Let's just try this one. 1924. looking for. Well, it looks like it helps, I guess, if you know the destination, but that's kind of hard to know too. They came to Canada or the United States. Let's go back. Okay. Well, let's see.
Yeah, it does say they
Arrival
include
records,
passenger arrival.
naturalization records, border crossings, immigration. Mhm. Well, he have, okay, border crossings and passports, ship pictures. Okay. Hmm. Citizenship records. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where we would search for the arrival location. I'm not seeing. If we wanted to search by Ellis Island arrivals. I don't know.
Stephanie, don't you find that you get addicted to this and you could spend the entire day doing it?
Yes, that definitely happens. Yes. And
This does feel like a bit of a rabbit hole.
yes, unfortunately, I'm not finding what we were looking for. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. New York passenger and crew list, including Ellis Island. Okay. All right. So you think that, let's see. Arrival. So I wonder if we can say Ellis Island. No. I guess we just say New York. New York City. And this was Max, right?
Yes.
But we don't have a year. Okay. So, So we have 25 records of, well, okay, let's do this. Let's make it exact. Max and exact, let's see. Okay, so 11 results.
But he would have come from Austria, we would have thought, based on, that's where he's
Yeah,
from.
but it's the port of departure. So he would have had to, probably Netherlands or either that or France, I would think,
Okay.
to actually get on the ship. But let's see. And we said, it said 1890, he was born 1899, it said.
Sounds right, I already forgot.
Was he pretty young when he arrived?
Yeah, I believe from what I'd heard, he was a teenager.
Okay. So, well, this was an arrival of, well, this would have been a 32-year-old. So,
No, I don't think he was that old.
yeah, see, these are 1950. 39, 47. Yeah, none of these arrivals look like a teenager.
Yeah. I'll have to play around in there.
Um,
Well, it might not be New York City, but I guess that would be, is it city
well,
versus
I guess,
state?
yeah, and I guess we could change that.
Make it broader.
Just make it
New York.
New
I
York.
think New York was at the top of that list.
Yeah,
New York.
just say New York.
Yeah.
Still the same results.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. All right, well, I'll look around some more, see.
Yeah, these are. Yeah, but yes, you can definitely get lost and get down rabbit holes and get stuck. We have a really great, and this is who I would recommend people speak with, is Sheila Baumgartner from our Carolina room. She's really good with when you get stuck in a place with your ancestry, with your genealogy, suggesting ways to kind of get beyond that wall that you hit. So I'm happy to share information on how to set up some time with her too.
That's great.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions about what kind of we went through? I mean, I know I know we got lost in some things, but really it's a matter of here's again that home page. When you just do that begin searching and just do that initial search, and just start, like I said, with a family name that you're pretty confident about, and a kind of a range, a general idea of a birth year, and you can just start looking at more and more information. It's just a fun thing to do, even if you don't want to create an official or document a big family tree or something like that. It's just fun to play and learn some things.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. So are there any questions? Anybody want me to do a search? We can look at what we find.
Anybody have anything? I mean, this is kind of cool. And now it gives us something fun to play with. So I guess so then the newspaper, the obituaries, it looks like all those quick links at the bottom. I guess you can see if any of your,
Yeah, so
see if any of your relatives were criminals.
yeah. And I have happened upon like marriage records where the date, we've always been told that people were married, and what we find is not quite.
I found one of those recently where the cart was before the horse, or
Yes, exactly. Things get fudged a little bit, but that's okay. So let's see. So I'm in the we're doing an obituary search. Let's see. So I can just search my grandmother. Let's see. Indiana. And if I just search.
How current is this? So, I mean, does it go all the way up to current? I know you can go back pretty far, but can you do more recent?
Yeah, so like I said, my grandfather passed away in August, and his death record is already in here.
Okay.
So it is being updated pretty frequently. Let's see. Oh, I cannot find. That's weird. Oh, I messed that up. I put that as her place. That's weird. Well, I don't know why I didn't get a result for that. So again, sometimes you hit roadblocks and you don't know why you're not getting a result for something that you're pretty confident about, but that happens. Yeah, so church history is all kinds of things you can search. Criminal records.
And land and wills, so I guess you can see where and the wills are all part of public information, so everybody's.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that works. If is it at a certain period after their death that's made available? Let's see. Well, I don't know why I'm not coming up with a result. But I don't know. I can't find the obituary I was looking for. I'm not sure why it's not coming up for me. But yeah, again, here's where you can look at family trees that have already been put together. So you might find your relatives there. And again, they say as long as the sources are cited with that family tree, it's a reliable piece of information, reliable source for you. Now you cannot access. Oh. I thought you did not have access to message boards with Library Edition, but apparently. I think you can search them. I guess you can't post on them, I believe that must be what it is. So you have the message boards. If you want to see what people have been chatting about there. But again, it's just a fun tool to play around in. And like I said, you can save the files that you find. You can create your own file in your computer. You just can't save them to an account in Ancestry.com itself. Okay. So
That's really fun. That's gonna
yeah.
kind of take me down a few rabbit holes over this holiday break.
Yeah, I mean that's happened to me. You end up spending a lot of time looking at it's fun. Like I just looking at my parents' marriage certificate. It's just kind of fun to find these things in here to play around. And the census records I find really interesting too. But
That's great.
yeah, like if you
So, and I guess, but the current what's that doesn't have the current census or the recent.
no, and I don't think that will be up for a while because I think like the current census doesn't even get certified or until sometime next year. And so I don't know how long it will take for that information to be made public. Then it's like another trying to think, is it 20 years or something? I mean, it's quite a while before that information that gets shared in the census is then public.
Gotcha.
Let me search. Okay. So yeah, here's just pulling up a census record. These are what the census records look like, and I find these really interesting because you can go down, a street that my grandmother lived on, and this is fascinating to me because you just see that this was an entire neighborhood. Everyone from Norway, just the way that these settlements kind of came about. It's just interesting to me. People like immigrants from a particular country that kind of just settled together here in the States. I just think it's interesting. But
Yeah.
these are fun to look through too. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining me.
Well, thank you so much. It's really fun to play around with. I appreciate you walking us through it. And it's nice.
Yeah.
So everybody knows that you can access this with your library card. If you don't have a library card, let us know, and Stephanie can help you figure that out.
Yeah, and I feel free to share my email with anybody if you have any questions, or if you'd like to get an appointment set up with Sheila down at Carolina Room. She would be great to work with you on your questions that you have about your particular family tree. But my email is just slucas, SLUCAS @cmlibrary.org if you have any questions.
And I'd like to remind everybody about, Stephanie, remind everybody about the tech help opportunity that the library has too, because not everybody knows
We
that.
book a librarians. We do book a librarian appointments, and that's if you have any questions. We do a lot of help with ebooks. If you're interested in doing ebooks or digital audiobooks, we do a lot of one-on-one help with that. You can go to our website, click on calendar. I'll show you how to do that. So at our homepage, we were in resources earlier. Now we're going to go over to calendar. And you'll see everything that's going on right now is virtual. But you'll see like one-on-one tutoring. Some of this is for children's, but we have tech help too. So let me just call it book a librarian. Okay, so here's our upcoming book a librarian appointments. You can sign up online, or you can just call your local branch and we'll get you signed up for an appointment if you want help with anything. Okay.
And go back to where the programs are, some of the programs that you're offering virtually, so people know what's out there.
Sure. Okay, so again, start at the homepage and then just go to the blue box. It says calendar. Okay. And then this pulls up everything going on throughout the system, but we've got filters to the left here. So if you're looking for book clubs, you'll see we have a lot of book clubs going on right now. So all that's there. There's some writing groups that meet.
Can you go back and show us about the ebooks?
Sure. So about where you look through browse the ebooks. Okay, sure. So that you can do with the purple box here, ebooks and more. Okay, so you can choose one of our services here. And so Overdrive, that's our most popular. Some of you may have the Libby app. That's our Overdrive app. So here I'm in our ebook collection for Overdrive. And you can just start browsing right here. Okay, and then when you find a title that you are interested in, you just click on borrow. Okay. So
Thanks.
okay. And then the way you access these borrowed items, you can either do it through your web browser if you just prefer to be on your computer, or you can put the apps on your phone or tablet or Kindle, whatever device you have, and then you just link your app to your library card, and then you have access to your borrowed items that way. And we are happy to walk you through that either on the phone, or we can do a Zoom link like this and just walk you through how to do all that. Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I always have an audiobook loaded on my phone for anytime.
Yeah,
I want to take walks or whatever. I love it. So
they're really convenient because we have fewer and fewer CD players these days to listen to the audiobooks on disc. So these digital audiobooks are great because you have them everywhere you have your phone.
yeah, it's great. Well, the library has so many sources. Every time I go onto the site, I find something new. I'm looking into something else, maybe that another program that we can do to find out something more things that are going on in the library. But there's just so many sources that you guys have, and feel free. The tech help, when you guys have questions, like the tech help, that's an easy way to get help one-on-one, just to free help, just to get
it doesn't have to be library related. It can be that you are having issues with your email on your phone or something like that, and whatever the issue.
Yeah, so that's the other neat thing. If you're having, and we all have issues with sometimes our computers don't work right or whatever, or we don't know how to work our email correctly, or we need a tutorial when we get a new phone. So there's just lots of options there that you can get help with through the library. So Stephanie, thank you so much today for this
Thank
and
you.
all the things you guys are doing to support the community. We really.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. All right.
All right, anybody have any last questions? If not, we are taking next week off. Next week, I will sort of kind of just on my Monday email, I will be doing a recap of all these programs that we've been doing since, I don't know, since COVID. I think most of them are on the YouTube site and you guys may have missed them. So it's a great time if you have time and are looking for something to do to catch up on some great topics and explore some. So I'll kind of put all that together so you can find it next week, and then we'll get back to things. I've got programs lined up for December. So I'm really excited about bringing new stuff for December. And Stephanie, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming out with us today and hope to see you again with some more ideas. And you guys, Bill, I'll look forward to hearing from you, sharing that zoo information, maybe a program we can do going forward. And thanks, guys. It's always great to see you. By the way, just so everybody knows, the fitness center is open now for seniors exclusively. I mean the fitness center like the weight room. I don't mean like people get confused what the fitness center means, but that's the weight room within Harris. But they have senior hours from 1:30 to 3:30. That are exclusively for seniors, and everybody has to wear a mask in there 100% of the time. So that's just an option that's just started this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1:30 to 3:30. And then there's senior classes going on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1:30 to 2:30. It is Lisa Mason, cardio strength, senior cardio strength. I teach on Wednesdays, stretch and balance, and Julia's on Fridays at 1:30. So anyway, that's what's going on. Hopefully as time goes on, we'll be able to add some more classes back if you're missing some favorites. And if you are not going back, you can reach, you can see classes that are online on the Y360 app. So if you don't know how to get to that and you want to see the classes that are there, they're putting classes up regularly that you can do virtually. So lots of options for everybody. And it's really good to see your faces, and thanks for coming today. I appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Whatever you do, make it special, have fun, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. So thanks so much, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Stephanie,
Take care.
thank you, Jane.
You're welcome. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye.
Right.